Okay, so we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of the campaign to save the baths. What is it that's kept you going this long and made you so determined to see the baths regenerated?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that's kept people going is the fact that these baths have been here for nigh on 100 years. People have been swimming in them for 80, 90 years. And the spirit in the community to keep those baths there was so strong and overwhelming. And on top of that, there was an active swimming club, the Kingston Club. People really felt this is the last straw. And such was the strength of feeling from all parts of the community. The divested Govanhill as well know. And people decided, no, we're keeping hold of this, we're not letting go.
I can't swim, believe it or not, but these buildings really symbolise more than just the 3 swimming baths. It was a place where the community could socialise, it was a safe environment, and you were able to do all sorts of physical activity that now you can't. And I think one of the reasons this campaign has been able to keep going for 10 years is because the community believes that they deserve these buildings. These buildings were built for poor people, not just here, but across Glasgow. There was about 15 local swimming baths, and this was by no means the grandest. And they were enjoyed by the local community, and this is really the last of its kind left, and that's the other reason that the community want, love, and believe they deserve this building.
You mentioned there the possibility that this space has. Tell me a little bit about what you plan to do with the baths.
Well, the situation at the present time is, which is really good news, we've got a total of £100,000 from the government's Equally Well Community Health Programme. That's giving us £50,000 to develop community activities, but more importantly, well, as importantly, £50,000 to refurbish the front of the building. That'll hopefully be done by May of this year when we've sorted out some of the technical details of licence with the council. They're allowing us back in with a peppercorn rinse. The front will be converted into an area where we can develop community programs, and as that's happening, we're moving very, very swiftly to the reopening of the ladies' pool, the smaller swimming pool as is known, ladies affectionately from the past, and the Turkish bath and sauna. So, and we hope that could work by autumn 2012, if all goes well with big lottery funding and other funding.
And once this has all taken place, what is this going to bring to Govanhill and to Glasgow?
It's going to bring a much needed facility. Govanhill is one of the most congested communities, not just in Scotland, but Britain. It has some of the worst health statistics. But it's a place deprived of any real recreational and social areas. We have our parks, but there's very little to do in the parks in winter. And swimming is the most popular participatory sport in Britain. And when this place was open, it was packed. It was packed. And since then, and we know from a lot of people involved in the campaign, a lot of people have stopped engaging in any form of exercise. And in fact, since this building is closed in the 10 years, the health statistics around here have got worse. So we know that when this building's open, it's going to be very well used, and it's going to provide not just the recreational facility, but it's also going to provide much needed sporting facility in terms of swimming, in terms of the gym, in terms of dance, and various other things that people like to engage in, not just for young people, but for older people who can't make it to the distance of some of the newer pools. No, it's all right. Interrupt.
Well, one of the big issues, to go back to that issue, it actually links to your first question, is the health issue. We always were astonished that one of the most deprived areas in Britain, let alone Scotland, let alone Glasgow, had a facility to provide health, recreation, and social activity and so forth. Such a facility was the last place you would close if you were interested in cohesion, diverse communities mixing together, health provision, recreation and sports would be the last reason why you would close it. And so that's another reason why locally, the people have felt this is wrong. That pool belongs to a community, and people who would work against the very first decisions back 100 years ago. quite ironic that it was the municipal council that built this for those reasons. 80, 90 years later, they should come along again and say, no, if you want to swim, get yourself down to Gorbals or get yourself over to Bellahouston. So that issue of health is critical. It's always driven us because all the statistics, nationally, internationally, show that when you have a facility that provides these circumstances, you hang on to it because people will not travel away from it. They will not go to Bellahouston, Gorbals and the rest of it. Health will get worse, and so it has.